bring it up as I was trotting in here this morning. Deandre Ayton. You predicted this one. Los Angeles Laker. I believe this is the 9th number 1 overall pick LeBron James has played with.
I did
who
see
was
this.
a number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, and some of these are pretty. If we would like to go through them, some of
Grim?
them are pretty.
The word grim come to mind?
No, but like technically true.
Okay.
Andrew Bogut played literally 5 seconds.
Oh, wow.
Literally
Okay.
5 whole seconds with
There you go.
LeBron James.
Yeah, with
Like
LeBron.
washed Joe Smith.
Ooh.
There's a few of those.
Joe
in there.
Smith.
Where, but it is a good one for Jordan fans to get to be like, well, he played with 9 number 1 picks. It's like, that is technically true.
This is
There you
true.
go.
LeBron James gets on the
Yeah.
Lakers. They get Deandre Ayton,
Who just got bought out. So that's how much of a number
which
1
cost
pick
the
he
Portland
is.
Trailblazers a lot of cash, I believe.
Yes.
But, I mean, they did not want him in the locker room.
Let me
anymore.
bring
They
back
did.
one of my favorite tweets from NFL free agency. I don't have it in front of me, but it was something like, if you hear the words former first-round pick, you know that guy is going to be.
Yes.
I
Not
think
great.
the quote was mega ass.
Mega ass.
And if you're saying DeAndre Ayton, the former number 1 overall pick, I feel like that's doing a lot of
Mega
heavy
ass.
lifting.
Yeah,
Portland paid him $25 million to go away.
to go away.
Hey, who else was drafted in that DeAndre Ayton draft?
Luka Doncic.
Oh, wow. It turns out that guy probably should have gone number 1.
I mean, Marvin Bagley went 2, so 0 for
That's
2
not
at the
great.
top.
Hey, Noah's favorite rapper. Let's not forget.
Yeah,
Marvin Bagley.
Trey Young was traded for Luka.
All set on Marvin
Remember for
Bagley.
like 3 years, everyone was like, "Oh, the Luka Trey trade. That's a win-win."
Why do all big men that do not do well decide to go to the rap career? I feel like that's a thing. What was Marvin Bagley's rap name?
Bagman?
You could call Darren Waller a big man for the NFL. He's a
Darren
rapper.
Waller out of retirement, Miami Dolphin. I'm sure that scene's going to be great for him. Yeah, okay. So continue.
Denver.
Sorry.
It's because he has all those alimony payments to Kelsey Plum.
Oh, yeah.
And he's turns out he's spending all in the music career. Speaking of Trey Young being in that draft, this is a huge make it or break it year for Trey. He played fantastic last year, both sides of the ball, offensive and defense.
He averaged the most assists in the league, right?
He's one of those guys like Dwight Howard who I don't even really like, but I feel like I've forced to become an apologist for.
Well, the thing
Where
is,
I'm like, no, he is good.
Last year was his least annoying year.
Yeah, he's changed the way he's played. He's not LaMelo Ball anymore.
And
He's a point
so
guard.
there was some growing up that happened in Atlanta last year. I think Quinn Snyder certainly helps with that. And now they have set him up with the keys to a car that's like, hey, buddy, if you're going to want one of these super max deals and prove that you truly are a superstar, this is the year to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've all had Atlanta in our winners of free agency.
Yes.
Yeah, they've done so much.
Houston, I think Denver's up there. If Detroit can land Malik Monk, that's like he's a better version of Malik Beasley. I think that would be
I agree.
a fantastic signing for them.
Yeah, they get Karis LeVert, who was formerly with the Hawks. You mentioned that, and Duncan Robinson, who one of the better 3-point shooters. I believe he leads he just led the franchise for the Miami Heat in 3-point shooting. 2 former Michigan guys. I'm sure that'll get some jerseys sold and butts and seats, referring to being in Detroit now. He played under John Beilein when they were making a couple of championship runs.
Former Cavs coach John Beilein.
Yeah. Let's not forget that. Former.
They all called him racist.
Yeah. That was short-lived. But then also, if Malik Beasley, Malik Monk, excuse me.
Trading a Malik for a Malik.
It would be Dennis Schroeder. There's some complications with what's going on right now.
You think Dennis Schroeder's a Cav?
Sorry, not a Cav, a
He's
King.
A king, but it hasn't officially happened yet because it's going to be a
European thing.
sign and trade.
Yeah.
That's what this is. They're coming in. Listen, Malik Monk. Not a lot of people are watching Sacramento Kings basketball. Yeah, I was getting over 17 points a game last year.
Yeah, Malik Monk. I've held stock on Malik Monk Island. I think he's a good shooter, even all the way back in his time in Charlotte. He's a guy that could come off the bench and help a lot of teams. It feels like the Pistons are really putting a lot in the stock of Thompson, Jaden Ivey. Those are the 2 guys that they need to make a very, very big step forward.
And I think with the Pistons, they're looking at what a very similar player to Asar Thompson with a higher usage rate in a bigger role on the team. Amen Thompson is doing in Houston, and how everyone's calling him a burgeoning star. So I think that they're just like, let's
see what happens.
If we give this guy the ball more, if we give this guy bigger defensive roles, let's see what he can do.
Something about this guy looks like that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Jaden Ivey last year, when he was healthy before he went down, that was right into the start of the new year in 2025. I think his last game he played was legit New Year's Day. The guy was playing really good basketball. For that stretch, he was getting over 20 points a game.
I remember that being a poorly timed injury. There's no good timing
for
with that
sure,
one especially.
But I think the fact that Cade was able to work without him in the playoffs, they got that experience against the Knicks, getting a few wins, tough. Both their wins being on the road, actually, I believe, at MSG. That's impressive. So
yeah.
I'll say that there. I think this is a team that's, listen, the East is pretty damn wide open. We know that. Hey, speaking of the New York Knicks, can we get into that?
Oh, yes. Can I hit one?
Please, go ahead,
Just two Mavs notes. They hired Spurs obviously not doing too much in free agency here. They signed Luke Cornett, but onto the Mavs. They hire Frank Vogel for the staff. He's an NBA champion coach. He's a defensive guru. He'll be a great fit on that Mavs bench with a lot of good offensive talent, but also your front court is now Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg. You have P.J. Washington. You have Daniel Gafford. You have Derek Lively. So Frank Vogel will be a great defensive architect there. You bring in D'Angelo Russell. That's fine. Remember my comments about former first-round picks, one-time All-Star D'Angelo Russell. It was 6 years ago.
That's hard to believe, actually.
That Nets team was fun.
I would say he seems like a 2 to 3 time
that was
All-Star.
back when they had the City Connects that had the Coogee sweater lining, and he would always wear the sleeve.
Shout out Biggie.
Well, he'd wear the shooter sleeve, and it was the Coogee, and I was like, that's actually
they've had some cool
Nets
ones.
had something going
they
on
had the
here.
Basquiat stuff too. But yeah. Anyway, with the Mavs, they bring in Frank Vogel and they let Spencer Dinwiddie walk. I like their offseason a lot. I think that's worth mentioning. But Noah, to your point, the New York Knicks have a head coach.
Is it official?
I believe so.
I don't know if it's fully official, but it's going to be official. If not, I feel like here in the next hours, maybe today. Mike Brown, correct? Is going to be that
Brown.
Okay.
Formerly coach of the Sacramento Kings, and I believe you said it best. He's a guy who, hey, if you win Coach of the Year, you're probably going to get fired. Coach of the Year twice, Mike Brown has won it. They were reaching out to people even like Dawn Staley, of South Carolina, the women's team down there.
Well, that's also I feel like that's a fake story in terms of the we had to talk about UConn's coach going to the Lakers, things of that. It's like if you're dominant in college, we got to pretend like we're kicking the tires here.
Yeah,
these people are not leaving their programs.
No, and it's just a completely different thing. Why would you do that?
Yeah. How do we feel about this? What would you rate the hire overall? Did they need to get rid of Tibbs to bring in Coach Brown?
Yeah, I would say the way Tibbs was running this team was leaving. You were trying to cross the finish line. It was like drag racing. You were trying to cross the finish line with no gas in the tank. You were trying to go so fast that no one could catch up, but that's not how playoffs work.
Yeah, I mean, I've said my piece on why you fire Tibbs. It's you spend your cap space, you sign your players, you make your trades, you trade your tradable contracts, and then what's your last move? You don't have picks, you don't have money, you don't have anything to trade. You fire your coach. It's just the life cycle of teams in the last 5 to 10 years of the NBA. So I get it. Mike Brown, as I sat and thought about it, I kind of talked myself into it. I think just because of what they have been the last few years under Tibbs, you think of the Knicks as this gritty defensive team. But really, I mean, when you're employing Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns, how good is your defense going to be? Like, how good can your defense be? And I think we saw that it was kind of their unraveling in the playoffs. I think Mike Brown is a great offensive coach. I mean, he was the architect of that super fun Sacramento offense. I know that kind of flamed out a couple of years ago when they were the 3 seed. They lost in 7 to Golden State in the first round. Gee, that doesn't sound familiar. Go Rockets. But I think it will make them a much more offensively dynamic team. I think that he will have a lot more fun with Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. And then also, as far as defense goes, you have enough long and rangy guys. Like you have your Mikal Bridges. Josh Hart isn't big, but he can defend multiple positions, and he is a hustle player. You have Mitchell Robinson on the interior for however many games he's going to be there. So I can talk myself into it. Does it push them over the finish line? Over an OKC or over a Denver or over a Houston or whoever comes out of the West next year? I don't think so. But
yeah, I mean,
I don't think it's a bad hire. I think it's just they're shaking it up, and sometimes that's all it takes.
Does this? Let's get into the LeBron kind of trade.
What's
talk.
happening here?
Does this move the needle possibly for LeBron to go to New York? I mean, obviously it's got to be through trade. Obviously, we know that. Like, is there? Let me ask you this: what would you say the odds are, fellas, that LeBron James is wearing a Laker jersey in 2026 at the end of this season?
I think like 50-50.
Yeah,
because
and is New York one of those places we could see him end
next season or by the end of this season?
That's a bad question because 2026 could be both.
Yeah.
Let's just go next year.
Then
let's say
50-50.
this is the last year of the Lakers.
Because I saw a report from Brian Windhorst, our guy over on ESPN. He said that the Lakers are basically viewing LeBron James as an expiring contract, and it's hard to believe that we're there. But
I'm telling you, ownership coming in, sweeping house.
LeBron, you are, for the first time in your career, not the most important piece of a team.
Yeah,
Luka Doncic is better than you in 2025 and 26. And he's certainly better than you in 2030. So the Lakers have, as Bill Simmons said, pivoted to Luka mode. Which they're not going to trade their future assets. They're going to need those to build a team around Luka. LeBron is not going to be there in 2031 and 2032, which is when the Lakers have these picks to trade. It's just not going to happen. So I think I can definitely see LeBron wants to be in Los Angeles. He wouldn't have signed in Los Angeles when they sucked if he didn't want to be in Los Angeles.
Well,
they missed the playoffs his first year there because they were just a bunch of rookies and a bunch of bad players. He could have gone to Philly. He could have gone to Houston. If he wanted to play basketball and win titles, he would have gone there. He got one in L.A., absolutely. Anthony Davis played out of his mind in the bubble. But he clearly wants to be in Los Angeles. So I can see him taking a smaller deal next year, but I do not think that I don't think that contract is tradable.
Do you think that
55 whatever million
it's like
3?
50, I think it's
52.6
or whatever.
That is an untradeable contract right now. Every good team does not have cap space. Nobody has cap space, and you have to match those contracts. It would have to be like a superstar and not a superstar, a max guy and a high-end role player coming back if you want to trade for LeBron James, and I just don't think that he would be worth that. I still think LeBron, on any given night, if he's giving full effort, he is one of the 10 best players in the league. He's like 9 or 10, but he's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you make a trade for that guy, though.
Where do older people go later in life?
Is he going back to the Heat or to the Magic?
No,
you're talking about Florida.
I'm talking about the desert. The only contract I would match: Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal for LeBron.
No, please no.
The Lakers would do that, maybe. Or I mean, the Suns would do that.
Suns, yeah.
If Matt
Ishbia would love to do that.
Yeah, Ishbia needs butts and seats for those $3 hot dogs.
Right. We had KD. Now let's bring in LeBron. I'm sure that's going to get more people in seats, which it would. Yeah, I wonder if LeBron does he seem a little disgruntled because of the ownership change, or what do you think this is?
I feel like he's faking it. I think he's just like, oh well, I'm old.
I just want my money. And I think the thing is that he's 40, 41?
He's 40.
Yeah.
He'll be 41 in December.
And so I think that we're going to see probably about 5 more years of LeBron. There's a chance that this guy
5 more years?
I think he could Brady it.
Oh my
I truly think he could Brady it.
Oh, no.
I don't think he plays after next year.
Really?
No. 2
well,
years. I give him 2 years max.
After this year or next year? So 2 years or what?
This is LeBron's. He will have one more year in the league after this year.
This is his 22nd season, is it not?
Because he's going to get, because Bryce is at Arizona now. He'll probably be a one and done, and then he'll play with Bronny and Bryce and then retire.
Is Bryce even good? Wasn't he supposed to be the better one?
I think people just said that. I think that was just a thing
taller.
people like to say.
He's taller.
But I mean, hey, he went to Arizona. It's a better basketball school than USC.
Yeah, it is. You're right. In the Big 12 now. Yeah. Hey, can I play this? This is Frank Vogel. I always thought this was funny. It was such a weird time. I know you were in college still. I just finished up school.
Yeah. I've told you, COVID started on my 20th birthday.
Yeah.
Literally.
That bubble championship was so bizarre, and that made me think of Frank Vogel. And I have video just on my phone I have saved. Do you remember when they won the championship down there in Orlando?
Of course.
And how odd it was?
Yeah.
When they won, nobody really in the stands. You had the virtual fans there.
Friends and family. Russell Westbrook cussing out babies.
I'm not trying to hate on Frank Vogel. I just thought this was so weird. I'm going to play the audio here of when they won it. Here's Frank Vogel after the Lakers win the 2020 championship.
I'm so damn proud of this team. World champions!
Wait, hold on. I got another one, too.
The Bus family, we love you guys. Laker Nation, we did it!
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
We did it!
So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, you got to
man. I know, but you see, there's like you're just so used to a roaring crowd.
You have to manufacture the energy, right?
Woo! Yeah,
odd.
I thought that was one of the weirdest things, and it's again, not how much of that's his fault. I just thought it was a little strange. And he missed the Pelinka, and that, obviously it's radio. You can't see this. Yeah. Pelinka's there trying to give a high five, just completely misses him. Not a great look.
Good stuff, man.
Man, what a throwback that was. Really glad that we're not living in that era anymore.
Oh, yeah.
We'll say that because that was a strange season. The bubble itself. I used to work, a little fun fact about me, I used to work at that arena down there at ESPN Wide World of Sports in Orlando. That was my internship was there the year prior. So I was bringing in AAU teams in 2019 to that arena. I'm like, I cannot believe LeBron James just won a championship at the place Mickey Mouse built. Bizarre. But hey, you know what? That was the time we're living in when Lemon Pepper Lou emerged. Remember that?
Magic City, out in Atlanta.
That is he's a great, he's on, I believe, FanDuel Network TV or whatever it is. He gave a good story about that where he wasn't even trying to go to the club. He genuinely was just trying to get some wings and order them, and he ended up staying there for a little too long and got caught. I think he was hanging out with Jack Harlow or something. I don't know.
Remember him?
Lord is right.
Remember the Rockets had a guy, Daniel House, who got kicked out of the bubble?
Yes.
He was getting it on with the medical staff, the COVID temperature taker people. I think that
Jimmy
was
Butler apparently was having some fun too. Yikes.
Oh yeah, I've heard that one. But I have a take. It's a Thursday. I'll give you a take.
Come on now.
People say the 2020 championship is a Mickey Mouse championship, a fake championship.
All right.
I think 2021 is way faker.
2021 is going to be the Milwaukee Bucks beating
the Phoenix Suns.
The Phoenix Suns.
Not a knock at Giannis, kind of a knock at everybody else in the league, because I think the Bucks would have gotten over the top at some point anyway. But with Giannis, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, it's a very good basketball team. But if you think about the last 7 years ago to the last couple of years ago, the 2020 conference finals, Celtics Heat, Lakers Nuggets. Teams that have been good and have been very good the last several seasons. If you go to the 2021 NBA playoffs when everybody had COVID and it was a weird short season and guys were getting put into the health and safety protocols, your conference finals was the Sun. Oh, wait, hold on. Here, your conference finals, let me pull this up, was the Bucks and the Hawks, and your Western Conference finals was the Suns and the Clippers.
That Clippers team was pretty solid.
Yeah, but teams that didn't really hang around is my point.
It didn't stay healthy for the Clippers.
The Heat and the Nuggets, that was literally a finals a couple seasons later. The Celtics, they won one. What have the Hawks done? What have the Clippers done other than be hurt?
The Hawks are moving now from that team that was there years ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago?
Yeah, I don't know. The NBA is in a very interesting spot. The question kind of being asked, is there a little too much parity at this point?
Too many injuries.
Too many injuries, that's true. What's going on with all these Achilles?
7 Achilles tears, whatever.
Good Lord. Yeah, they're trying to talk to Chat GPT about that.
Red Panda breaking her wrist.
Yeah, I saw the report on that. Red Panda. Yeah, we wish her the best.
You ever seen Red Panda? I've seen Red Panda a good number of times.
I'm familiar with her game, if you want to call it that. Yeah, she's fantastic. We wish her the best over here at 102.7 ESPN. But yeah, NBA.
Caitlin Clark. Yeah.
Anything else I miss on this? I mean, yesterday was a little bit underwhelming. I will say that. I think the Malik Monk thing, if that gets done for the Pistons, they're putting themselves in a really good spot to be one of those teams to emerge in the East. They were the 6th seed last year. The Bucks aren't going to be as good in my eyes, even if Giannis returns. Obviously, Halliburton's down, and they lose Miles Turner. That's a team that was ahead of them. They were the 4 seed. You have Boston, who's going to take a step back with no Jason Tatum, and Porzingis has been dished, and Drew Holiday.
So I'd say Derek White and Jaylen Brown.
I'd say it's Cleveland, New York.
They're still at the top.
I think Orlando being a 7 seed, they were one behind. They're probably in the same, maybe a little bit now.
They were banged up all year. They didn't have any guards. They brought in Tyus Jones.
Maybe 1A, 1B, or 3A, 3B with the Pistons. I'd probably put them just a little bit ahead. So would Vegas.
Yeah, I think the Pistons can host a playoff series.
I'll say this. I'm not fully, and I get it. Maybe this isn't even that hot of a take. I just think what I've seen the odds to win the East, I'm still waiting on Philadelphia. Once that all comes together, maybe.
It's. I think the point is it's wide open because you forget about Philly. Yeah. You can put Atlanta in there as a team that could host a series. But I like
VJ Edgecombe. That I'll tell you what, he is a highlight reel. If you haven't watched a lot of Baylor basketball, maybe that's just for basketball fans. Yeah, no duh, dude. No, if you haven't watched this kid up in Waco from the Bahamas.
He put Mark Few's son in a coma.
He did. Mark Few's son had no business being on that court. No offense to Mark Few's son.
That is one of the best just pure poster dunks. I know Baylor, I think they were down
baptized.
By 40, but still.
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, the kid got crucified, legitimately. Put on a poster.
But otherwise, not too many big news. We've kind of settled down most of the big signings. I think we were waiting on some trades. There's some news that the Rockets might be trying to turn the Kevin Durant deal, make that a bigger deal, move some draft assets around, move some money around, maybe move some contracts around. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. But it seems like the Spurs are kind of standing pat. I think that is smart for them. The Mavs have made some moves around the edges, and the Rockets have gone all in. That's for your Texas teams. But right now, it's looking wide open. OKC's the favorite, but, they did play 2 Game 7s, so I think they are not the Kevin Durant Golden State Warriors of a few years ago in terms of striking fear into the hearts of the league.
Yes.
I think we're in for another great parity-filled season.
Hey, we're going to ask this question to you, 512-834-1027, the cliche ESPN-type question. Where would you like to see LeBron James go if he gets traded? Whereas if you had to pick a destination, ponder on that. Don't tell me right now, Jack. We'll radio tease it. I would like an answer within the next hour, maybe, man. Can you do that for me? And I'll give you one, too. How about you tell us where you think he should belong? 512-834-1027. If it's not the Los Angeles Lakers, where does LeBron James land in your eyes? Where do you want to see that? Him finish his season and maybe go for that. Is that 7? Would be 7 tight? No, that would be 6. It'd be 5.
It'd be 5.
I am mixing him up with Tom
Robert
Brady.
Horry.
He has
two in Miami, one in Cleveland,
the
one in
with
LA.
Cleveland, one with LA. Yeah. This would be his 5th. Get the handful. Can he do it? Where would he go to do that? When we come back, LeBron James talk. We're going to be talking about hot seats in college football. I want to ask about the man that's up north there, Brent Venables. Is this a big year for him? I think it is. The guy down in Baton Rouge, his seat kind of might be hot. I don't think Sark's very hot. I think he's got it nice and chilled currently. But let's talk about the hot seats all around college football. We'll do a little Horns at half past here coming up. It's Game Time's first hour, rolling all 5 hours today with the crew. Noah, Jack, Sawyer, Luke. We are here, 102.7 ESPN's Game Time.